This Odoo training video is prepared by Unicom ERP division of Repeater Technology and Communications Company, an Odoo partner. If you need any Odoo support, please contact us. The Odoo ERP package here we are going to discuss is a customized solution for Saudi Arabia. The invoices that were issued to our customers are recorded as journal entries in the sales journal. As we know, a journal entry is usually composed of two different journal items. For customer invoice, it's actually three. On the credit side you will have the income account, and also the tax account. And the counterpart of all those amounts is the receivable account, on the debit side. That means, your customer now owes you the amount accounted in the receivable account. You can create a customer invoice from scratch, by going to Accounting, Customers, Invoices, and by clicking on Create, or through the shortcut way. From the dashboard, you just have to go in your sales journal box, and click on New Invoice to have a new document created. Here we can select a customer. Now, if you go in the contact form and check in the accounting tab, you can see a receivable and a payable account. What you need to understand is that when you create a new contact, Odoo will assign a receivable and a payable account automatically. So this is a default configuration. You don't have to do anything apart from creating a new contact. The system generates invoice, which are initially set to the draft state. While these invoices remain unvalidated, they have no accounting impact within the system. Now I'm going to add an invoice line. You see that I have an income account directly chosen for me. Where does this come from? It comes from the customer invoice journal default configuration. We can check in the general configuration. You see you have a default income account, and this is the out-of-the-box configurations from Odoo. So when you create a database, this is already configured for you. Now I am going to choose a product. After selecting the product, you see the account here is different. That's because, in the product configuration, you can also assign a default account. That is different from the journal. You can see that we have a tax that is mentioned here. Right now, I have all the information. Let's dive into the journal items. You to see what Odoo generates as a journal entry. So you see here you have three different items for one journal entry. One for the income account, one for the tax account, and lastly the counterpart with the receivable account. This is because of all the configurations that were predefined by Odoo. You can also add sections to an invoice to structure your customer invoice. So let's say I want to put a service, and I can move it up here. You can also add a note to add further information. So let's say I want to add a reference, and put it at the top of the list if I want to. So now that I've done this, I can just decide to confirm my invoice. If you leave the invoice date empty, it's just going to take the date of the day. But you can also decide to add any other invoice that you might want to use. I can confirm and automatically my entry is posted. You can see here that in the chatter, you have the tracking of all the information. Changing on this customer invoice, you can see my status went from draft to posted. Now I just want to send it to my customer. For that, click on the Send and Print button. You see I have the email preview for what I'm going to send to my customer, and the attachments that are displayed on this email. And it's also going to generate the PDF related to that invoice. Here you see the structure is exactly the same. So it's much clearer for the customer to see their document, and also you can configure a QR code for the payment of invoices. Now I'll click on Register Payment. By Cash Journal, I will collect the amount from the customer. So I have selected the journal. The amount is full amount. And I'll click on Create Payment. And you can see the payment has been created. Paid on July 8, 2022. If you check the corresponding payment, for that click on View. And you can check the journal entry. You can see the related accounts are Account Receivable and Outstanding Receipts. And here you can see the ribbon. The status is showing as in payment. Thank you for watching this video.